already. Hey Facebook, it's Jenny from Southern Savers. We are hanging out at the Unclaimed Baggage Store today. Have you ever lost your luggage on a plane? Or, turns out, have you ever left an iPad in the plane seat? That would be really sad. It all ends up here in the middle of kind of nowhere, Alabama. I don't know why. And I am hanging out with Brenda. Brenda works for the Unclaimed Baggage Store too. So she's giving me and you a tour this morning. There is so much stuff here. You would be kind of amazed at what they sell and what they see. They even have like a fun museum.
Yes, we do. All throughout the store, actually.
Weirdness that has been left in a plane. Like, anybody seen the movie Labyrinth? There's a troll here from the movie. There's Tinkerbell. They even have music instruments, like Scottish music instruments and whatnot, all mounted on the walls. I see like a shrunken head from Africa on the wall across from us. So I'm going to just show you some of the things. If you are curious about anything too, feel free. We'll ask her questions while we have her. They have some big sales. One particular that someone mentioned to me, and I've already asked her how it works, is the first Saturday in November. They have a huge, I'm going to zoom out so you can see more. They have a huge ski sale, but it's really like a huge winter coat sale.
Yes,
hundreds of like Patagonia, all of our top brands. So Melissa asked, where is this? Scottsboro, Alabama. We're what, maybe 2 hours from Atlanta?
About 2.5, an hour from Huntsville.
So again, kind of middle of nowhere, but it's really, really pretty if you want to head out here. You're right on the Tennessee River. We're happening to drive through because I'm teaching a workshop tomorrow in Huntsville and kind of saw this, had a friend that said, hey, we've gotten so many laptops from there and we've gotten all kinds of other things. So thought we would stop in. I told him I was coming, like, hey, can I come and show people around the store? And she was very sweet and said yes.
She's like my celebrity.
I'm not a celebrity. So we're hanging out. I want to show you some of the things they have, but we were talking about the ski sale. I got off topic. So the ski sale, first Saturday of November, she's saying hundreds of people come because it's all kinds of top name coats. It used to be gear. Do you still have gear?
We do still have gear, snowboards, boots, bindings, things like that. But the big thing is the jackets and the brand names in there and the deals that you're going to get.
Okay, and would you say, like, give us an idea of like percentage off? I'm going to get Patagonia.
Oh gosh,
I know it's hard. I'm putting you on the spot.
No, it's okay. I mean, my kids all have a North Face jacket that probably ran about $30, $35. So, I think that pretty much sums it up.
Good. This puts TJ Maxx to shame since we would be getting it there. You know, I've already walked around the clothing section a little bit. I'm actually hanging out in the electronics section / sporting goods for all the poor men who went fly fishing and like forgot their pole. That would be a really rough vacation. But I'm in electronics. I'm going to turn it around and hope and see everything else. So this is electronics, just a quick view. And she said really they only sell the best of the best. So what you're seeing is kind of a fraction of what they get. They donate a ton. They trash a ton. And then they sell about a third of what comes in. On the back of electronics, you can kind of see, I wish I could zoom in, but I can't. That's actually the luggage section. This was my surprising moment because I came here thinking, we're gonna get some cheap luggage. But she said most of it is beaten up, used. So they don't actually end up selling the luggage. They only want to sell the best of the best. So we aren't probably going to end up with luggage, but we've got iPads, we have computers. I actually have a friend who's bought numerous computers here for family members, camcorders here, so we're going to see what we can find. You'll be surprised too with some of the things. I want to show you one thing we already found, so we're going to walk over there. If you have kids who play games, handheld games, you know, like because we're traveling and we want to keep our kids quiet on the plane, is probably the case. Check this out. They have books and books of game cartridges. You just find the game you want to play, and they have so many for you to pick from. She's gonna run and let us look in the books. I think this could probably keep most of our kids happy for a really long time. Look at all this, and they all start like $10, depending on the game you want to play, for all sorts. They even have the devices too, for that matter, but all sorts of games. I can't even imagine. So Julie's asking what your hours are.
Okay, well, Monday through
So,
Monday through Friday, we are 9 to 6, and Saturday we're 8 to 6. Oh, I'm sorry, we have summer hours now. So on Friday and Saturday, we're open till 7, and we are Central Time. We're really close to the Eastern Time Zone, but be no mistake there that we are Central Time. Closed on Sundays, always have been.
yes. And I will pop in here too. If you like come and stay for a really long time, they actually have a cafe. You can just make a day of it and
Absolutely.
eat here if
Get
you
you
wanted
some
to
Starbucks
in just a second.
Okay.
So one other thing, I'm just in the electronics section. I mean, we could walk around. Is this what heaven's like? I'm kind of thinking so. Rings. Ashley wants to know. You know what, Ashley? Let's go for a small walk. We're going to walk just a portion of the store here. Are you good with that? We're going to head to jewelry just for you and show you. Yes, there's all kinds of things. And by the way, I have my whole entourage here. I told them to sit quietly in the corner. Girls, we're going to walk to jewelry. You want to come with us? We're all going to go for a small trip. So this place is huge, like 40,000
Yes.
square feet. So we'll just let her answer all of my random questions as we go. 40,000 square feet, and they sell everything. You would be amazed what people fly with. Look at this as we go. So I'll just let you see. People fly with art. And maybe if you're moving, I don't know.
Well, when people go on vacation, a lot of times down in the tropics,
Ah.
they buy art down there.
How
Lots of those.
You bought a gorgeous painting and it didn't make it home. Now,
But you can have a great new painting
You could.
for a deal.
so I'm gonna let you see as here. You don't need to see me. You want to see the store. So this is clothing, and that's obviously what they have the most of because that's what people are flying with is their luggage and their clothes. And you know, not to make the airlines look bad here because it's really not what this is. Brenda made the really good point of like 99.9% of luggage is returned. They take 90 days to try to get your luggage back to you, but if they can't, then it ends up here. And there's only one store like this in the country. So we made it to jewelry. There's all sorts of things in jewelry. So we start with just costume jewelry, which my little girls are loving because the bracelets are like 50 cents. But they have high-end jewelry too. So we'll go down there. There are folks that have even gotten engagement rings and wedding rings, high-end watches. This just amazes me. Yes, there are engagement rings and wedding rings. They're down at the next one. We'll go on down and look for you. There's tons of purses, tons of shoes. I'm actually curious to see how many hair dryers with all the baggage that's not making it. That's always in mind.
Let's make a pit stop real quick.
Okay.
This is our most expensive item in the store right now, and our price is $21,797. But the appraisal value is over $42,000.
You see that? I don't know if you heard that or not. Hopefully you did. She said this is the most expensive thing in the store, and it's at 50% off of the appraised value. I don't quite have that much money to handle, but if you're looking for jewelry deals, it's probably a good place to start. Again, this is in Scottsboro, Alabama. We're at the Unclaimed Baggage Store. So if you recognize an engagement ring that you lost, it's theirs now. Sorry, you missed your opportunity. But you can buy all sorts of things here. This is a massive cabinet, Ashley, as you were asking for rings. So you'll be surprised. Now there's a ton of clothes too. And I have to say it's actually organized. I'm a TJ Maxx girl, so this is organized better to me than even TJ Maxx, where sometimes I'll walk in and you're just a little overwhelmed. Yeah. But they have it all organized by what it is and what size. So you don't have to, you don't really have to spend a ton of time. It is a thrift store. So yes, let's, just so we all are walking in and we are very aware of what you're getting. It's other people's clothes. There are some items actually that I've seen that still have tags on them. So somebody went shopping and never got their brand new shirt home. And they do have items that actually were in cargo. So they've got some like hundreds of workout shorts and things like that make it from cargo over and they're selling them here. But they have a ton of stuff. We're just in one portion of the building. We could keep on walking with you. There's a whole nother building of kids and housewares and there's just tons of stuff to kind of take it all in. But you do want to come with that thrift mentality. I noticed that even in some of the reviews, because everywhere has reviews now, and folks kind of knocked it. But really, guys, you got to go in with the right mentality. You're walking in to look at other people's stuff. So this is just like any thrift store, and things are changing constantly.
All day long.
So how many bags would you say that y'all are getting, let's go like on a month? How many bags do we see a month?
Well, what we do talk about is how many items that we stock every day. And we stock about 7,000 unique items every day. I mean, it could be a diamond ring, it could be a pair of socks, or a cookie cutter, or a souvenir keychain for your last destination. So it's all across the board, the things that we get.
So if I had like a shot glass collection, I could just complete it here.
The way I say it is that you could come to Unclaimed Baggage and buy souvenirs from all around the country and never left Scottsboro, and your friends think you've been a worldwide traveler.
This is a brilliant idea. I've never been to Cancun, but we've got Cancun coffee mugs and everything.
That's right.
I love it. But I want you to have that mentality when you come, because I don't want you to walk in and think that it is going to be all amazing all the time.
Right.
So things are constantly changing. We could walk in today and find an amazing deal. We could walk in tomorrow and not find anything that we wanted. But
exactly.
That way you're not disappointed. You got to go in with the right mentality. It's really the same way when I go grocery shopping. I have to go in with the right mentality on any kind of trip. But it's a gigantic thrift store that's changing all the time. Mm-hmm. And you mentioned too that y'all donate about a third. So kind of share what you're donating.
Okay.
What are we not selling?
Okay, well, I mean, obviously people leave behind eyeglasses and sunglasses on planes like nobody's business, and jackets and neck pillows and blankets. We donate a significant amount of our eyewear to Lions Club International. We also donate suitcases to DHR for foster care programs.
That's awesome.
Lots of items to our local pregnancy center. Significant amount of inventory to our local Salvation Army. You know, we've had hard times here with the tornadoes that happened several years ago, and with what they sell in their store, obviously it funds their relief efforts, and so we've been a big part of that. Just a number of other organizations, but we keep the product going out in the donation platform as much as we do in the retail platform.
Yeah, that's awesome. So someone asked in the comments, can you shop online? No, it's all in the store. So you've got to actually drive to Scottsboro, Alabama. And again, I mentioned earlier, it's like 2.5 hours from Atlanta, about 45 minutes outside of Huntsville, just south of here in the Tennessee area too. But if you were kind of heading north, it could be a fun little diversion to stop off and just see what they have for the day. And then we mentioned already too that they run a really huge sale the first Saturday of November, all on their winter gear. If you can't make it that day though,
the inventory,
they keep selling.
Yeah, the inventory is huge what we bring in, and so there's always weeks and weeks, plenty of merchandise after that as well.
Obviously, though, the good stuff's going to go first.
But we have so much good stuff. I mean, really,
Okay.
It's crazy how many jackets we get in.
And she's saying that jackets aren't on the floor now.
No.
They only go on the floor starting that first week in November. So they hold them all year. Well, you say hold them. They probably don't get a lot of lost jackets in the middle of July, though, do you?
Let me tell you, everybody travels with 2 jackets, and they leave one behind on the plane, and we did it.
I've left a jacket on the plane before. Can we
go back together
see?
there.
I want to know if my jacket's still here. Wait a second. No, so I've just given you a piece of the store. There's really so much more that's here. And I don't know if you guys want to see anything else in the store, but if there's a department, we can try to walk there. And folks are saying I definitely want to go here. This is honestly like a great place to even make a girls' trip too.
Oh, yes.
Think of it as just adding it to that longest yard sale trip and just ending here. Because it's kind of in the same neck of the woods as to where that longest yard sale starts and begins.
We actually have a girlfriend getaway package. So if you were to let us know that you're coming and you've got 4 ladies or more in the car, let us know you're coming. We're going to hook you up with goodie bags and treat you like VIPs for the day at no charge.
There we go. I'm up for that.
Yeah.
VIP.
You kind of got some of that today.
We did. I got my own tour guide, so I really can't complain. So purses. Someone wants to see purses. Sure, we'll walk back there, and I'll let you guys walk. You walk. You don't have to all look at me. We're shopping with other people who probably all think that we've lost our minds and have no clue what we're doing. So if you see someone that you know, give them a shout out while we're all shopping today. So we have all sorts of purses. I'm gonna guess a lot of these were in luggage, but they could, have been left in overhead bins as well. And she mentioned with the overhead bins that the bins items, they don't spend 90 days to get them back to you. If you don't claim it from Lost and Found, it ends up here pretty quickly. It's really the luggage that is gonna take 90 days before it ends up at the Unclaimed Baggage Center. Someone's asking, do you sell tie pins?
Tie pin, like a tie clip?
Like a tie clip?
If we get them, absolutely.
Yeah, she's saying anything. If they get it, they will sell it. If they think it will sell, they'll donate it. If they don't think it will sell. And then there are some things that get trashed. So let's talk about trash again, because, you know, let's think about everything we travel with. I guess let's not talk about trash first. Let's talk about dirty clothes. Because when I'm coming home from a trip, nothing is clean anymore. So they have something huge. Go, you can tell them what you have here.
Well, in our processing facility where we sit and and sort through all the bags and all the items, we actually have the largest dry cleaning and laundry facility in the state of Alabama. We launder about 50,000 pieces a month, which is more than the average cleaners does in the course of a year.
That's
so
crazy.
those ladies don't want to go home and do laundry at the end of the day.
No, that's a ton of laundry, but we don't sell some things too.
Right. I mean, we are a family-friendly store, and we only have so much square footage.
I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, there's a lot of people that travel with things that aren't family friendly.
I got it. Okay, so only family friendly stuff here, but what about like dirty underwear?
Well, we trash all the dirty underwear. We do sell a lot of the undergarments that are new with tags, and so that's part of our cargo purchases and opportunity buys.
Okay, so only new underwear, which is kind of a perk. I don't really want to look at someone else's, even clean, used underwear. That's not on my list. There are some deals that we don't need in life, and that is probably one of them. Another person asking, can you shop online? No, I think they should totally open up an eBay store, though, of some of their top items. But this is you got to come here to get the deals, and it's the only place in the country. So I mentioned earlier that like 99.9% of luggage gets back to people. And something that Brenda said earlier when she and I were just talking before we went live was to point out the fact that so much luggage does get back to people that there's really only enough unclaimed stuff to fill one store in the country. So her number one question, and I kind of asked too, was why in Scottsboro, Alabama, this one random store? Because that's where the owners lived. Yep. I mean, that's pretty much the answer with any small business.
Right, and that was 46 years ago, so you know, they didn't know it was going to become what it is now.
Yep. So Marilyn, I'm at the Unclaimed Baggage Store. It's in Scottsboro, Alabama. This is where all that baggage that you flew with and never got back ended up, as you're asking where we are. Andrea's asking that you sell unopened bags like a mystery. Do you still do that?
Well, that is a myth. I mean, we've had people all over the years tell us that they opened.
We're gonna head out. We're right below a speaker, just so y'all can hear us better. Okay.
We've had people all over the years ask us or tell us that they heard that they bought an unclaimed bag, and that is actually not the case. I see the founder every day in our store. He comes in and has coffee and visits with us and the guests, and that has never happened.
So can't just buy the bag, but if you are here, I might even time my visit if I were you guys, because every day
at 2:30
they do a fun pick someone that's shopping and let them open a bag and go through it. Do you give them gloves?
We do. We give them gloves, and
these are probably dirty.
Yeah, these are unprocessed suitcases, but they come straight off the truck, and we just make sure that there's nothing harmful, embarrassing, or dangerous in there. But all the original contents stay in the bag. It's called our baggage experience.
Okay, and let you unpack it. So if I were going to come, I'd probably want to time it around that moment just to see. Marilyn's asking how far you are from Dothan. I'm not an Alabama expert.
Okay, well, Scottsboro is the northeast corner of the state, and Dothan is the southern end of the state. So, a good 6 or 7 hours. Think about it as, traveling to the beach. So
there we go. And Carmen wants to know your actual address.
Oh, we are at 509 West Willow Street, and that's in Scottsboro, Alabama.
Okay. Which is very close to Fort Payne. We can kind of try to put you in some other areas if that helps. Kind of right near the border between Alabama and Georgia. If you were to come up from Atlanta, you would come through Rome, across through Fort Payne. There's really a couple ways you could do it, but that's how my GPS brought me here. But hopefully that helps. It is closer to Birmingham, Anita, because you've got to come up from Birmingham to Huntsville and then across. You cannot shop online. That's been the number one question here. You guys obviously,
I want to be there now.
Obviously need to open an online version of this store. So I'll show you where we are right now too. Move just a little bit to get away from a speaker. Books. Now we all travel with Kindles, but some people still travel with books. So we've got a lot of books. And then let's say if you went to the Bahamas and you left your sunglasses in your bag or on the plane, you could get sunglasses. They've even got a whole rack of sunglasses, just $5. I'm all about that because I can't keep sunglasses without breaking them.
Thank you.
And my sweet girls who are all into accessories saw this. They have numerous walls of just scarves and hats that are all super cheap. My girls love a good scarf, so that gets right to their heart. Glenda's asking, do you take debit and credit cards.
Absolutely.
Yes, they will take whatever you want to pay for. And Casey, this is the Unclaimed Baggage Store. So this is where you went flying and your bag didn't make it where you were. They spent a really long time trying to get it to you, 90 days. Delta still couldn't get it to you, whoever you were flying. They all end up here, right? No matter what the carrier was.
We deal with all the major carriers. Yes.
Every major carrier, your bag ended up here. It's theirs now. You can't get it back. I just realized that they probably saw a coat of mine a long time ago.
Because we buy the bags.
Yes, they buy them. They're not going to give them to you. If you like randomly started stalking their store after 90 days, you will not get your stuff back.
But the passenger also got a reimbursement from the
airline.
airline.
Yeah, that's true. You didn't get your bag, but the airline does give you some money to compensate.
Right.
They buy the bag from the airline and then they resell the items that are in it.
Correct.
And I guess for you, that's kind of like Russian roulette.
Oh, absolutely.
Because you're buying the bags unseen.
Correct.
You have no clue what's in them.
Right. Which we've gotten some things that went all to the garbage. I mean, we've had a suitcase full of cheese, a suitcase full of vacuum-packed frogs. Maybe,
that's kind of strange.
We've always said if these bags could talk a story, they could tell, because we just don't know what the person was thinking.
Like, that just makes you speechless. I don't even know. Maybe you were in research. I don't know why you would want that. That's horrible. Someone asked, are the scarves clean? Y'all clean every garment. How many garments do you clean a year?
50,000 a month. So well over $500,000 a year.
I don't want to do their laundry. So they wash everything that's on the floor, which honestly is more than Goodwill can say. Because when you're in a thrift store, you don't know that it was clean when I hit Goodwill stores. But everything on the clothing rack here is been laundered, and some of it's actually new with tags. So keep that in mind too. Again, where is this? We're in Scottsboro, Alabama. There we go. Carmen's helping us out. Carmen stuck the address for us in the comments. And let me just scroll up. I want to make sure I didn't miss anything.
Yes, we used to have a store in Boaz.
So
we
Kelly's
closed that
asking.
one a number of years ago.
So they just have one store now. There used to be two, but just one. Yeah, and Melissa, the items are cleaned. I mentioned gloves earlier because when the bags come in, they're not. I mean, even my bag, I've been gone now for one night to get here, and we already have dirty clothes in the bag. So when the bag comes in and they're processing the bags, they're doing it with gloves on because things are going to be dirty.
Yeah.
But the stuff on the floor has all been washed. They have the biggest laundromat in the country, would you say?
Pretty close, I would imagine.
50,000 things a day. Kristen, they do not. This is the only store in the country that sells unclaimed baggage. I mean, there are other great thrift stores.
Sure.
But this one, only one in the country. And it's hard to get us both in, but I want to make sure you can hear us, so I'm not trying to go super far away. And it is in Alabama. So lots of fun deals here. And I'm only in one building. Let me kind of point that out, because I could move there, but in going live on Facebook, I've already lost my kids. They're off looking at things. So if I try to move buildings, who knows if I would find them again. But the second building is, I'll let her tell you because I would probably mess it up. What's in the second building?
Well, it's called UBC, etc. And over there we have our entire children's department in level 1. And then in level 2, there's household items, bedding, stationery, gifts and accessories. And then level 3 is where you're going to find more of the health and beauty items, the hair dryers we talked about, flat irons. We all know how expensive those can get. Souvenir things, and then our last chance area where it's just the final stop before some of the items make it out of here.
Yeah, I want to go there next.
Yeah.
We're headed, I definitely want to see Last Chance. So they do not sell online. We are going to have to push them to do that.
I need to have it across my
and
forehead.
it's in Scottsboro, Alabama. And literally, guys, everything. We walked past the Kindle section a little bit. You know what? Let's actually go back to electronics. We came down here to look at jewelry, and I guess we can do that. We'll go back to jewelry really quick for folks who just joined, and then we'll go back up to electronics, and we'll end in electronics. I know there's much more to see, but just having to, it's 40,000 square feet, so we could be on Facebook Live for hours. So this is just jewelry. It's counters and counters and counters. You can see it all. Watches. I showed you all the engagement rings and whatnot. They're down at the other counter. So we're gonna walk from here back up to electronics, and we'll end there. If you want an iPad, if you want a Kindle, I mean, they have stacks of Kindles, literally stacks. And most of the electronics, my guess, are things that are left in the backs of the seats. on planes. So you know all those stewardesses that try to remind you, please, if you didn't listen to the reminder, this is where your stuff went in the end. Look, they've got some fun things on display too. This is a headdress that arrived in 2005, and they tell you all about it. A French newspaper that came on a plane. I feel bad for some people that lost some pretty cool stuff. That's a leather-bound French newspaper. So, Candace, you're asking how good of a deal are things. I did ask them how do they come up with their prices, and they said that in general, price-wise, they are going to look at the brand. They're going to kind of do some research, see what it is before they decide. Here's the luggage section. I mentioned earlier they don't sell a lot of luggage. Turns out this was on my list of things to look at because they only sell the stuff that looks in great condition. But if you want a luggage carrier, you can get a lot of carts, lots of handbags. So we're headed to electronics. There's my whole crew, the whole Martin family, if you've never seen them, all hanging out looking at electronics. So we can get Fitbits. Anyone want a Fitbit? And you're asking prices. So to give you some ideas, Fitbit charges are usually about, I'd say 70 to 80 bucks. This one's not an HR, and it is going for 40. So it's about half of the regular price just for that item. We're in iPad section, iPads, an iPad mini. You can see the price on that one if you're kind of curious, $219. There's another one for $150. So y'all are cleaning them off too, by the way. Yes. Everything electronic has been cleaned so that you're not going to get someone else's funky pictures or funky Facebook Live videos, you know, whatever might be on it. Let's walk down a little bit. I told you stacks of tablets and Kindles. So we'll come look. If you're an Android person, we've got all your, they have all your Androids too. And look, some are even new in boxes. Here is our Amazon Kindle stacks of Kindles. I love it. There's a Kindle for $40, and that's the Paperwhite, which is a little bit better than the lowest level Kindle. So, I mean, you can see it all now. Are there elevators available? We had to come up some stairs to get to this section. Have a ramp. They do have a ramp, so no elevators, but it is handicap accessible all the way through. Yes, Bethany, most of my kiddos are redheads, thanks to my husband. And is there an elevator in the Etc. building?
It's all ramp accessible.
All ramp accessible in the Etc. building too, so no elevators there either. So in general, prices I would say look to be at like about the 50 to maybe 75% of retail, so not 75% off, but it just depends on what you're grabbing. I mean, look, we can get a clarinet if you wanted. These are all for sale. So you'd be surprised at what you can buy. She said the number one thing that comes through in electronics, in case you're curious, is earbuds and headphones. They get so many of them, they don't even know what to do with them all.
No, we certainly don't sell them all, that's for sure.
They trash a lot I price on the keyboard. I can't, it's behind the counter.
Well,
she's going to go check for you. I mean, look at everything that's back there. We can get a new amp. You can get, here we go.
This is something fancy
One
here.
keyboard just for you.
So this is a pretty...
this is a pretty high-end keyboard with a mixer and all kinds of things like that. But, so this one, there you go, is $249. Yeah. I don't know how I feel about earbuds that other people have worn either.
Just get out rubbing alcohol and
she's saying there we go, just rub them down.
But we're
You'll be fine.
Store shoppers.
Yeah,
Come on.
we're trying to get some deals here. It's okay. At least they don't sell the used underwear, right? They just sell the clean with tags. So we've got camcorders, kind of giving you the last glimpse here. I know we've been live for a while here, so some of you have gotten a big mix. Look, we can all go play tennis over there too. Lots of sporting equipment. So one person asked, and we'll kind of, I guess, let him go with this one, but someone asked, what's the most expensive item you ever found?
Okay, well, we have found things that belong to NASA and to the Air Force and things like that, and obviously we didn't sell them here in the store, but we did return them back. But the most expensive item that we've ever sold in the store was last year. It was a men's platinum presidential Rolex watch, and it appraised for $64,000, and we sold it for $32,000.
Wow. So, I mean, they got a deal if
Yeah.
you had that kind of money. And we showed you earlier, you can always go back and watch this from the beginning when we're done. It'll be on the Southern Savers Facebook page. But I showed you in the beginning, they actually have, it's a bracelet, right? That is currently for sale in the high-end jewelry that is appraised for in the $40,000 range, and it's on sale for $20,000. So they still have some pretty expensive stuff that you can grab. But it's still half off.
Right.
If you want to spend $20,000.
It's not how much you spend, it's how much you save.
There we go. No, I don't know. I don't know that it works that way. So other places, again, that I haven't shown you because we're really just in one section of the store. There's a whole nother building that's off to my right that is children's and housewares. I guess things you bought on your trip. I can't imagine like flying with a can opener.
You'd be surprised.
I don't know. But even in this section, I'll turn this around again. I mean, surprise what is here. That rack over there, right across the store, that's sleeping bags for all the people that want sleeping bags. Golf clubs for all the men who went on a golfing trip and their golf clubs never made it. They really do sell a ton of stuff, but children's, housewares, and then a whole nother last chance section in another building that I'm not even going to get to on this one, just so that we, aren't keeping you live all day long. This is the only only store in the country. So nothing closer to South Carolina. For me, because I live in Columbia, South Carolina, it took us about 6.5 hours, not including the fact that I have 5 kids in the car. So that was just drive time, 6.5 hours to get here. And I will confess, I didn't come just to go to the store. I'm really here because I'm teaching a workshop in Huntsville tomorrow. So if you're in the Huntsville area, feel free to come and join me. But I kind of decided, you know what, this is on the way and we should totally work this into our trip. So I would encourage you to do the same thing if you're ever out and about. And she mentioned earlier on the video, so I'm going to let her mention it again. They have a fun deal if you come with friends.
Yes, I mean, it's called our Girlfriends Package, and get a carload of 4 or more ladies in your car, and call us ahead of time and let us know you're coming, and we'll have goodie bags and for you and treat you like VIPs when you get here at no charge.
Look at that. That's pretty fun. So I got a goodie bag when I came. I technically came with 4 more girls.
That's why I kept asking. I'm like, okay, so it's like a girl getaway.
I mean, and my girls are all 11 and under, but they are still all girls. So we totally fell into that, and she did give us sweet goodie bags when we came, including she gave each of our girls a little $5 gift card, which I have a feeling my 3-year-old now feels like a millionaire. And I also have a feeling we're going to go home with a lot of bracelets because that's the section that they're wanting to hang in. So I'm going to end it here. Phone number wise, Carmen, I think it's on their website.
It is?
The website, go ahead and tell them the URL. I don't want to tell it wrong.
Okay, no, it's just unclaimedbaggage.com. We're also on Facebook. We, push all of our store events and sales and things like that. We have a lot of fun here. I mean, we're not just your average retail store. I mean, in a couple weeks, we're going to have a bluegrass band playing in the store. So, sign up for our newsletter on our website at unclaimedbaggage.com.
There we go. And their phone number is there too, so you can call in advance. Mm-hmm. And Steve wants to know if there can be a guy's deal. Is it only
We're
for
working
ladies?
on it. We're working with Goose Pond on golfing and fishing and things like that. So we'll definitely figure out something for the guys too.
Yeah. And I'll give Goose Pond a shout out. I didn't tell them we were coming or anything, but that's where we're staying. So if you ever come to Scottsboro, there's not a lot of places to stay, but Goose Pond is a fun fishing resort place. The folks next to us are from Alabama and brought their boats, and they've been here all week fishing, but they have really nice cabins that for us were cheaper than getting hotel rooms. So my whole family's in one cabin, and it's right down the road. So it really could be kind of a fun getaway, grab a cabin. So Steve, you could go fishing even and let everybody else go shopping, or let them go fishing and you go shopping. But it's right in the neck of the woods, so other things to do. And one other thing, if you're going to turn it into a family trip, we're actually leaving here and going to go to a state park that's right down the road that's called Cathedral Caverns.
Beautiful.
It's like 10 minutes away. So there's actually a number of things to do in Scottsboro, Alabama. Not that I was trying to do like a tourist come to Scottsboro. For me, it was more we're driving through, and I know that you guys would love to see the inside of this store. So if you just joined, we're actually going to go ahead and cut off on live. but you can go back, you can watch from the beginning. Brenda gave us a tour basically of the whole side of this building and how this all works. So go back and kind of see the deals and see what this is. It's in Scottsboro, Alabama, only one in the country, and can be a really fun way to get some pretty cool deals on electronics and all sorts of things. I hope you guys have a great day. If you've got more questions, feel free to stick them in the comments and I'll shoot them over to her and ask her to answer them. You can also ask them on their Facebook page, which she manages. That's how I got a hold of her in the first place. She'll answer all your questions. I tagged them in the top of this video, so you can just click on that tag and you'll end up on their Facebook page too, and you can ask them any questions that you had. But thanks for watching. Hope that this is somewhere that you at least were interested in seeing, and that you guys have a great weekend.